Welcome back to another edition of the Strictly Muscles Chronicles. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Also, thank you all for leaving thumbs up, comments, and sharing this video with your community. My name is Martin. I'm a personal trainer, nutrition coach, and muscle activation technique specialist in Chicago. And I've put together the Chronicles to provide exercise, nutrition, and mindset practices to help us persevere well during the COVID-19 pandemic. My purpose is to guide people to more resilient mental and physical lives. And I feel that nutritious eating, appropriate exercise, and healthy habits are all part of living a life with purpose and resilience. Our goal with nutrition over the last 4 weeks has been more about building practices in order to improve our habits around eating. So today, all I'm asking you to do is go back through the 4 things that we've done so far and pick out one that you want to get a little bit better at. So it's not about perfection. We're just trying to be slightly better than we were yesterday. The 4 tasks that I covered, or the 4 habits that we want to develop over the first 4 weeks of being at home. Well, the first one was journaling or tracking when you eat, your meals, and your snacks. The second one was around this awareness of when you're hungry and when you're full, specifically with when to stop meals. 80% full, satisfied but not stuffed. And a couple practices that I threw at you for that were eating slower and eliminate distractions. The third thing we covered was eating cues, hunger, fullness, and satisfied cues. What's it feel like mentally and physically to be hungry, to be full, or to be satisfied? And then the fourth thing we covered, we just used your hand to determine the size of your portions. So today is going to go back and review those. Which one did you have difficulty with being consistent at? Habit change takes time. So if you aren't 100% at it, like I said, it's not perfection. That's okay. We have a chance today to go back and go, wow, you know what? I really want to get a little bit better at that hand size portion thing. Or, yeah, I feel like I'm snacking a little bit more. That's my thing. I'm snacking a little bit more on like nuts. So I want to go ahead and make sure that my portion control, I track that so I'm not eating too many. So go back, pick your thing that you want to work on this week, and just get slightly better. Time for exercise. Going back to lower body exercise today, we're going to go ahead and focus on your hip joint. Capabilities for this exercise. You want to be able to lie down on your back or on your side. If you are not capable to do that, go to strictlymuscles.net, check my website out, contact me, and let's set up a time to meet virtually to discuss how we can work together to create a client-defined, custom-fit exercise program for you. So for this exercise, like I said, capabilities for this sideline or hip abduction exercise that we're trying to do to focus on just the outside of your hip is, well, I want to be able to lie down. Okay, now I want to check, can I do my motion here of this, bringing my leg out to the side in a lying position or in a sideline position? So I can. Now I want to see, how do I load that? Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with an isometric for the lying down face up version. I'm going to have Stacy come in and she's going to be the wall. All right, so I can do my isometrics of, let's say, 10 seconds. So I'm going to bring my leg out to the side as far as I can. There you go. Now she is a wall right at my ankle joint. And what I'm trying to do is push into her hand. Like I said, 10 seconds. I'm starting with maybe 50, 60% of my effort. I didn't change my body position at all, and I'm just focusing on outside of the hip. And I'm relaxed. Repeat that. Go 5 reps. That's about 50, 60 seconds with a little bit of a pause in there. And then just go ahead and go to the other leg. Now, for the more traditional sideline version, I actually add in here my RTS, Resistance Training Specialist Core Pad, and I've adjusted this already to have 3 wedges in here. That matches my body. What I do is I'm putting that in there to create a little bit of a better position for my body, so when I can challenge, more emphasize the outside of my hip rather than making this a trunk exercise as well. Now on this exercise, Stacy's going to be the resistance, but I'm going to be, or you will be moving up and down with this exercise. So Stacy will come in and she's going to put her hand right below my knee. So a couple ways to implement her resistance or manual resistance into this is having her resist me pushing up and then relaxing as I push down. So I'm going to do that right now. So she's fighting me as I lift away from my body, away from the table, and then back towards the ground. And then doing that again. Okay. A second way, maybe not in the same workout, maybe this is another workout, is I'm lifting my leg up and then she's pushing down and I'm doing my best to fight that as she does that. Okay. And then she's relaxing. I lift up and then she pushes me down. Now, a third option for us to do that I'm just throwing at Stacy. She didn't realize this was coming at her, but she's going to do the same position. And she's going to fight me going up, and then I'm going to fight her pushing down. More of a traditional way of doing the exercise. So she's fighting me lifting up. I'm keeping my position, and then she's pushing me down, and I'm fighting that. So those are 3 possible ways that you can do that. I like that manual resistance over, say, a band, because you can actually, the person there, as long as they're really good at it, they can really dial that into and create a really cool challenge for you. Again, focus on your execution rather than go until maximal effort. You have the ability to progress into that maximal effort. So stop when you feel good and focus on the execution. Thought I'd share with you what I'm working on with my mindset right now, and it's this concept of single tasking rather than multitasking. And got that from reading this book, and you can see the author's name down there. I don't want to butcher his last name, but he does a good job of breaking things down, and I'm sure there's a lot of other resources out there that you could use, but I found this to be helpful for me. So essentially what I want to do is when I have planning, say, client program or client follow-up, or I'm working on nutrition education and being a better coach, I'm blocking those time frames out and just focusing on those, not having my phone with me or not having another tab open for me to, I've got another notification on there. So the goal there is to be more focused, allows you to be more engaged and present with that information or that work that you're doing. So I thought that could be pretty powerful for everybody right now because we're at home and we're in much different situations. Some of you have family that you're taking care of while you're working. It can be very difficult, and I sympathize with you. I'm lucky; it's just myself and my wife, so we can block out our ability. But I thought this could be helpful for you to at least think about and get those juices flowing and go, hey, how can I create more focus in my day? So in my commonplace book, I had a quote for you from Seneca that I thought would help you just, again, drive it home. Seneca said, since the mind, when distracted, takes in nothing very deeply, but rejects everything that is, as it were, crammed into it. So the more things you try to do, the more you're not going to take in as much. So I encourage everybody to try to dial in their focus, single task rather than multitask as much as you can. Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow.